half hour. I can't seem to do the scheduled thing, but I'm really good at the regular live. At least that's what I keep telling myself, because I'm not going to have negative self-talk, because I have to keep crushing negative self-talk. That's what our topic is today, crushing negative self-talk. Anyway, lunch pail half hour. We're blue collar. We do the work, man. Anyway, I got a picture behind me of Goggins. He just finished the Bigfoot 200, man. It's just amazing. If you look at the stuff going on with his knee that he's had, it's incredible. Anyway, I'm like a huge Goggins fan. Woo woo! Bigfoot 200 power, man. That's a lunch pail break, lunch pail race. You might need 2 or 3 of these big lunch pails. Anyway, so today we're talking about crushing negative self-talk. Crushing negative self-talk. Jesse, can you hear me? Woo woo. What's the first thing you notice yourself when negative self-talk starts creeping in? I start complaining, man. I could hear myself complaining to myself. You know, like, oh man, it's really hot. Oh, I'm really tired. Oh, I'm this. You know, the funny part is, like, I got so good at never doing any negative self-talk in my head or to my crew. You know, if you're down in Badwater in the desert, you know, you can't be talking about how hot it is to your crew. You know, you just can't. I remember I was doing this 500, the Furnace Creek 508, and we are getting ready to go out, you know, and bike. It was like a 48-hour cutoff to do this Furnace Creek 508, and went over like 5 big old mountain passes and stuff. It was a lot of climbing, and it was a brutal race. But I remember I would hear these people. I was hearing other people starting, talking about how it was really windy on the course. They're going, oh, it's really windy. It's going to be terrible out there, terrible. And I made a mental note to myself. I'm like, dude, those people who are saying that before the race starts probably are not going to finish. You can't be talking like that. You know, I try, and when it's windy and I'm riding my bike, I try and picture like I have a funnel catching that wind and pushing it around straight into my back. You know, so the wind is now going, it's coming around instead of my face and pushing in my back. You can't afford to have those negative thoughts. Your brain, you know, there was some test they did, like, you know, where the guy's holds his arm out. I can't remember, and it's like he's thinking negative thoughts, and it's so easy to push his arm down. And then if you think positive thoughts, it's way harder. I mean, I've never really done that test. I just remember seeing it. Like, it seems like a lot of work to practice that one, but it is. But I do, when I'm in these events, you definitely, if you keep saying that negative stuff and talking about the course and how you know, problems with it and this and that gets in your head, you're not going to finish. You have to battle that with everything you got. You just automatically turn whatever negative is in there to a positive. You have to say, you know, for me, it's like, I was just like that wind. Like I said, I made it like there was a big funnel catching the wind when I went into the wind into it. And then it was going around and it was pushing into my back. So it felt like I was visualizing that the wind was actually helping me, even though it was into my face. And you that's what you have to do. You can't be thinking, you know, I just, as soon as I heard those guys, it was like I immediately had to plug my ears and ooh. I go, I didn't want to hear about it, you know? And I I finished that 508 with like an hour and a half to spare. It was a brutal race, but it was, but I didn't let the wind get to me. It slowed me down, but it didn't get to me. And I remember it was the same with the wind in, when I rode across America. We had days where the whole day the wind is in your face. You know, it's blowing into your face the whole day in Race Across America for 1 or 2 days. I remember, and you just got your head down and you're just moving. You know, all I'm doing is concentrating on moving. I'm not thinking, wow, this wind sucks. I go, oh, this wind, this is great. This is such a challenge. It's such a challenge. I love it. Just keep grinding, Bill. Just keep your head down and keep grinding. Eventually the wind will get tired and it'll stop and this will even out, you know. So yeah, that's big. Don't let that stuff, don't let those negative thoughts set up camp in your head. You got to get them out quick. Do you have a go-to phrase or mantra you say to yourself to override doubt? Yes. Yeah, I do. It's that, Jesse, remind me of what our saying was in Arrowhead last time. Yeah, I usually got a mantra coming into the events that I say, and I think what was I saying in Arrowhead? That, oh, I'm good enough, and all I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. Because I would, in Arrowhead, I've tried 12 times to finish that thing. I haven't made it, and so we were like, what can you say when you're out there in the middle of the night and you start doubting if you're going to finish again? Because I really was being, I could be really hard on myself. I'm not careful that I haven't been able to finish this race yet. And Jesse we came up with this mantra, and I thought it worked great. All I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. All I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. I remember one of the last times I tried it, I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden a little snowstorm hit, right? So it's coming down the trail. The trail had been real nice, and then all of a sudden the trail's getting soft. And soft is not good for me to finish Arrowhead. I need a hard trail because I'm going to make it with not much room to spare, time-wise when I do finally make it. But anyway, so when the snow was coming down, I'm stepping in this soft snow, my feet are sliding. I'm like, all I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. All I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. And I think the universe was listening to me say that, because the next thing I know, it stopped snowing. Because I was being positive. All I could do is my best, and my best is good enough. Which that seems like that has really helped me, that saying. So if you're in the middle of something really tough, and you're, like I'm really hard on myself about, or have been in the past, about not finishing. And so that's just not good for me. I have to be positive. So it's like, all I can do is my best, and my best is good enough, because that really is the truth. That's all you can do. If you're too hard on yourself, you're never going to finish anything, and you're just going to be walking around depressed all the time. So that's what I was doing. But then me and Jesse, my life coach, we worked on this so that I could have positive mantras in the middle of these events, And that one really jumped out, because it really felt like it took the pressure off of me. And I was just going, all I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. All I can do is my best, and my best is good enough. It just took the pressure, And so when I take that pressure off, it's definitely going to push me further up the trail than maybe I would have made it. You know what I mean? It definitely would push me further. So, okay, let's see here. Can you share a time when negative self-talk almost stopped you from chasing a goal, and how you crushed it? Yeah, I mean, lots of times, man, I've had that. When you're in a lot of pain, it's really easy to get negative self-talk. I've had, blisters really bad on my feet in Badwater, and all I think is that this is eventually, this pain is going to stop, because my feet are eventually going to go numb. But in the beginning, you're in so much pain that you're thinking like, how can I can't even hardly take another step, let alone keep going in this crazy heat, and in this crazy pain in my feet. But I just turned it around. Like I go, keep going, keep walking. Your feet are going to go numb. Your feet are going to go numb. You're going to go numb, and you're going to be, you know what I mean? So just keep moving. And I ended up, that my feet did go numb. Another one of my bad waters, I started cramping. They had weighed us before the race. It was like a test year. I don't know. And I was one of their test people. I was like, So they weighed us before and then they weighed us afterwards. And this was like my first bad water, so I didn't really know all the way what I was doing. And so when it got hot, I just started chugging more water out of Camelback. I was like, it's so hot, I'm just gonna keep chugging this water. And anyway, I ended up getting like hyponatremia. I mean, I was moving so slow. By the time I finished, I was like 15 pounds. They weighed me afterwards, and I can't remember. I think it was like 15 pounds over what I started, or 10. It was some huge number, and it was all like water. I think it looked like I was pregnant, you know? And because I just kept drinking that water, and I actually got myself where every step was killing me because I had wiped out all my electrolytes, and I had like hyponatremia. But I just was not going to let myself quit no matter what, no matter how bad the pain was. Every step was excruciating. I remember it felt like knives were going into my thighs, and I wasn't going to stop. And so I just said, just keep going, keep going, keep going. You're not quitting. You're not quitting this. I love pain. I love pain. A lot of times I go to that in that direction. I love pain. Whatever's kicking my ass, I love it. I love it. It screws with my mind. I think it doesn't know what to think. I say, I love pain. I love those pain in my thighs. And I just kept moving. And I finished that thing. I remember I was in so much pain when I finished that I started cramping right afterwards. And I cramped for hours. You know those, like you need to bite on a stick cramps where it goes, and everything locks up. I couldn't get it to stop. I remember I got in a cold tub at the hotel, and my legs were still cramping in the tub, man, even with the cold water. It's just, yeah, you can push yourself through some amazing pain, you know. It's just, you just stay positive, and you're not going to let it stop you, period. The pain is not going to stop you, and you're going to keep moving towards your goal of that. For that year, it was finishing Badwater, you know. How important is physical movement or action to breaking negative self-talk loop? I'll tell you one thing, people quit. You go through these big endurance events and life, it goes like this, up, you know, let's go this way, up, down, right? And so there's times when I've been in the middle of the night or you just like, where you're just like, you know, I can't believe I still got 3 days to go in this event or 2 days to go. And I'm in all this pain and I'm absolutely exhausted. And that's when people quit, you know, but that's when you can't quit. You have to, like for me, a lot of times when I get that kind of negative talk going, one thing I can do is reset myself. If I can, in an event where I have the van next to me, I can take like a 10-minute nap. I can reset that pain thing. I can reset my sleep, where if I'm falling asleep on my feet, if I could take like even a couple minutes just to close my eyes and roll my eyes back in my head, and I could reset my pain threshold, it seems like. You know, well, I definitely can. And then it stops me from nodding off and the pain gets less, you know. I've had where the pain goes from like a 9 to like a 3, you know, level 9, like way up there killing you. And then you can get it down to like a 3 when I reset my mind and get it back to where, you know, I wasn't so exhausted, and, you know, at least you know, I don't know what does that, but I know that you can, by just rolling my eyes back in my head, I can reset myself. So then I'm not going to nod off for like the next hour. At least it buys me like another hour. Let's see, do you think? Do you think adapting a warrior mindset can crush the inner critic? I do think that. I think whatever you can think of, you know, I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of this stuff on my wall, and, you know, and Goggins is a good example. He's right behind me here. But, you know, like if you're in a lot of pain and you think to yourself, what would Goggins do? He sure as hell ain't quitting over pain. You know, he's going to keep pushing, man. And and I'll do that a lot of I'll think of a lot of my different people I look up to, and I'll say, what would they do in this situation? And and I'll just push through it. Or I do the one where I'm a superhero. I go right to the superest of heroes, which is super in my opinion, which is Superman. And I just say, the pain's not going to stop me. The lack of sleep's going to not stop me. The cold's not going to stop me. The hot's not going to stop me. I'm Superman. I don't feel pain. I don't feel pain. I don't feel pain. I don't feel pain. I'm Superman. I don't feel pain. And I just keep up like mantras like that. And until until the pain goes away or goes way down. And then I keep going. It's just, you just have to make up your mind. There was like something about pain that I can't remember. Basically, it's not going to kill you. That's what I think I remember that I read. It's not going to kill you. It's just there to let you know that you're getting close, that your body's not liking it, but the pain itself, you can, you know what I mean? It's not going to kill you. You know what I mean? You can just fight through that pain, Do you think writing down your wins daily can actually rewire your self-talk? I think I write down my workouts and yeah, and I circle the ones that are a big deal to me. I write them down. I mean, I keep a journal or whatever you want to call it. It's really just a calendar on my wall. One of those, monthly calendars where each month has a big square like this. And then I use that to kind of talk about, hey, felt good today, man. It was a win. Today was a good day. Felt good. Set my record like in the sauna. I like the sauna. And I set my record just recently, like 31 minutes, 30 seconds at 195 degrees or 193 degrees, I think. Anyway, woo. Yeah, I like to, and then that makes me, and I think there's something about writing it down too, that it sticks it in your head. Like, I'm freaking getting tougher. I'm getting faster. I'm getting, everything's going. Like, I just started running again, and I had I had hurt my knee, not like Goggins's knees, but I'd hurt my knee up on Denali. I'd stepped in a crevice and my leg had gone to the side, and I really wrenched that knee. But it's been feeling better, and I'm really working on it hard, training it, doing knees over toes guy exercises and things like that. But every time if it starts to hurt, I'm just pushing through it. I go do a little bit. This is just my brain's making this worse than what it is. It's not that bad. This is just regular soreness going on because I really took like almost a year and a half or more off of running. I've just been swimming a lot during that time and doing some mountain climbing and rock climbing also, but no running when my knee was hurting, but now I'm pushing out there and and you're making the judgment. Is my knee just getting sore or are my legs just getting sore because I haven't used them that much? Or is this a sharp pain that's a problem? And I'm just telling myself, this is just normal running pain. Like when you haven't done it, it might be almost 2 years that I hadn't run. And so I just tell it in my head, this is just normal running pain. This is as I build up my stamina, my knees are gonna, they're gonna go back to normal. And normal, I was running, like I ran 20, before I hurt my knee, I ran 20 miles at like 10 and change pace, on a hilly thing. So for me, that's pretty good, but so I want to get back to that. You know what I mean? I want to get back to that. So I'm slowly just working at it and telling myself, this is just soreness. This is just soreness. This is just soreness, and doing the knees over toes guy and just pushing through it all. And someday I want him to cut into my, like, I don't know, when Goggins had his last knee operation, they cut into like one of his tendons and the doctor said it normally cuts like butter. But Goggins was like, they had to like work at it, man. I think he had to bring the hammer out to get this thing cut, or the Sawzall. I know that because I used to be an electrician. We use sawzalls. But anyway, so yeah, the thing is, yeah, you have to keep positive self-talk all the time in your head. You can't let it go. You know, I'm pretty good at regularly keeping it, and sometimes I'm just a lot when you've been doing this a long time, you're just in the moment, right? You're just going, okay, wow, this is really nice out. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful day, man. There's a, whatever. You're kind of in the moment. You know, boy, there's a lot of snow on these trees. There's, and you're in the moment and you're just kind of talking to yourself, and then you're in the moment and then you're not thinking negative thoughts like up the road. If you're in the moment and you're just going, and this is just what I do. I'm an extreme endurance athlete. This is what I do. I just go for hours and hours and hours and hours, and this is just what I do. So just and put my head down and just stay with it, because this is what I do. Anyway, what mental weapons do you have over the years to fight against negative self-talk? I think the biggest thing is just catching it. So as soon as you catch that you have negative self-talk and you tell yourself, your mind, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, and you got to really, put something positive in your head, like the next checkpoint or the next, for me, making it to the next aid station, making it to the next, whatever it is, whatever your next kind of little bit of relief. A lot of times in Arrowhead, I'm thinking about that I'm going to sleep in like 5 hours, at like 1 in the morning or something like that. I go, just make it till you sleep. Just make it till you sleep. Just make it till you sleep. And in that whole time, I have to keep moving. It's like minus 40 out there. It's been out there like 2 or 3 times been minus 40. And so you have to keep moving or you're going to freeze. It's really simple. So anyway, so yeah, I try to just keep, so if I notice a negative self-talk is, okay, how can I turn this into a positive? What can I think about? You know what? Yeah, let's think that it could be colder. It's cold, but it could be colder. Or it's the snow's soft, but the snow's soft because it's warmer. So at least I'm not going to get frostbite this year. So you're always trying to turn it into a positive. Always trying to train the self-talk into positive, because if you go down that rabbit hole of negative talk, you're going to be out of the race. There's nobody I know who is really good at any of this extreme endurance, who talks negative themselves that I know of. I don't know anybody who does that. Everybody, we try and keep everything positive. Well, I was just swimming with my buddy Tom the other day. I swam like 4 hours. The bay was cold, this. And every time me and Tom, we'd go to the boat to feed every half hour, we're just talking about normal, wow, this is great. Another half hour, I'll feed, next feed, let's have this, I'll eat this next feed. Let's do that just in the moment. I'm not talking like, wow, the bay's really freaking cold and I'm really tired, so it's extra cold for me. I'm not talking about those things. I'm staying positive. And Tom does my buddy Tom, he's done the length of Tahoe 3 times. He's known as the reptile. You don't get the name the reptile by going out and being soft in races. He's the reptile. But he had told me before, because when I first started swimming in the rough water, I go into the Golden Gate and I go like, Tom, every time I'm under the Golden Gate and I'm swimming, I just keep getting hammered with all these waves. And every time I look up, it's rough. And it's like freaking out my brain. And he goes, well, don't focus on when you're looking up, Bill. Focus on looking down, because when you look down, that's when it's smooth. It's always smooth down below. It's always calm down there. Of course, he told me this last time when I was telling him that I had used him as an example for my brain in swimming. And he goes, I don't know. The last time I went out, it was rough down below too. It was rough everywhere. I go, okay, I won't tell that one to everybody. Woo. Anyway, but just like the reptile said, he goes, don't focus on the rough part. Focus on the calm part down below. And so that's what I've done ever since. And it really has helped my swimming. and it keeps me positive out there because I'm just focusing on how it's soft down below, how it's this. Okay, wow, the snow's soft, but at least I'm not going to get frostbite because it's warm. At least I'm not going to get frostbite. Or if it's freezing cold and I'm in danger of frostbite if I do anything too slow with my bare hands when I'm trying to get something out of my sled or something, or even with my liner gloves, and I go, well, at least it's freaking hard snow. It's hard snow. I know I'm in danger, more in danger of frostbite, but it's hard snow. So it's easier footing. I'll move quicker. Anyway, woo woo, keep positive self-talk in your head, man. Woo woo. And you can achieve amazing things. Woo woo. Okay, we got another one of these next Tuesday at 3:30. It's called the Lunch Pail Half Hour. Blue collar, we do the dirty work. Our favorite tool is a shovel. Woo woo.